Okay, hello class and good afternoon and thank you for being on the Zoom today. Before I will start recording this meeting, I'm recording this because for a few members of the class, they would not be able to join today, so they can watch this later. Okay, I posted the agenda for today's meeting. I'd like to give you any of you 30, 50 seconds chance to introduce yourself, tell me more about yourself. I read all the introduction to the class, but I'd like to hear from you. And let me know which software did you choose to use for the class, and then we can go ahead and then start today's live session. Let's start with Stacy. Stacy, do you want to start? I'm looking at the Zoom. Okay, you are muted. I can't hear you, Stacy. You are not mute. You are mute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. I'm Stacy Brinkmeyer. I decided to use the R software, the R Studio software. I work in the emergency department at our local hospital as a tech, and I think that's about it.
Oh, thank you very much. And this is really a hard situation for you, so thank you for everything you are doing.
Well, thank you.
Sure. Daniel? Daniel, you are muted. Okay, this is
okay. Now I can hear you. At first I couldn't hear anybody.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, what were you asking? Sorry.
I ask you, please introduce yourself. Let us know which did you choose, and then general talk, 30 seconds is you like.
Hi, my name is Danielle. I work at Anne Arundel Medical Center. So I do a lot of insurance verifications for the radiology department. I'm kind of nervous to pick a topic because I don't know what I'm doing. But all of them seem really interesting to me, I guess I would say. So I guess I just want to see like the flow so I can make a better decision on.
Okay, great, thank you. And thank you for your service in the radiology department. This is really hard situation for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Dana? Dana, okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, great. I'm Dana. I work at Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield as a senior trainer. So we're actually not in the office right now. A lot of our staff are actually working from home, including myself, because we can't conduct training classes because of, the virus that's going around. I've chose to use Excel. Only because I'm familiar with Excel and statistics, but I would have loved to use the R software, but for some reason my computer won't let me download it. So I'm not even going to stress about it, and I'll just use Excel.
Okay, thank you, Dana. And Evelyn, right?
Caitlin?
Evelyn, you are muted.
Yeah.
Okay, you are talking through the phone?
No, I'm on a computer.
Sure, go ahead, Caitlin.
Yeah. I just jumped in. I'll be doing like introduction.
Sure, Caitlin, go ahead.
Oh, I'm Caitlin. I'm a full-time student. I just moved about 6 months ago, so I'm not working at this time, but I'm excited about this class.
Which software did you choose to use?
I'm sorry?
Which software did you decide to use for the class?
So I'd like to use the R Studio.
Okay.
I've never used it, so I'm hoping to learn it through this process, but I noticed you wrote that if we can always default to Excel.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you, but my first recommendation to all of you is using R Studio. Okay, let's go back to Evelyn. Evelyn, you are muted. Let me unmute you.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Hi, my name is Evelyn Kumpa. I'm going to be using R Studio. I'm nervous. I've never been good at statistics, so
no worries.
I'm looking forward to this class. Yeah, but yes, I'm nervous, so we'll see.
Thank you very much.
And I work in a medical practice, Lake Forest Foot and Ankle Center. It's a podiatrist's office. And well, right now everything is kind of crazy. So
I understand. Thank you for your service. It's really hard situation for all of us, especially for the kidney continent. Thank you. Christina, right?
Hi there.
Hi.
My name is Christina Marzak. I'm the Assistant Director of Radiology for Innova Loudoun Hospital in Northern Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
I have chosen to use RStudio. I am not familiar with any of those programs, but I'm excited to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking forward to learning from everything you have to learn from this class.
Okay, great. Thank you, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
I have Yaviti, is it correct name? You are muted also.
It's Yvette.
Oh, Yvette. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So this is my second time taking this class. So our studio is a little confusing, but about me, I am a research supervisor at Johns Hopkins in the Department of Cardiology. Basically, I have 2.5 classes until I'm finished.
Congratulations.
One of them, and so hopefully I get through it this time.
Okay, great. Thank you. And we have Galaxy. You are muted. I can see you. I can't hear you, but if you need time to be ready, so take your time or unmute your computer and let's go. Galaxy, can you hear me? You are muted. Let me unmute you. Can you hear me now? Okay, you are okay. Let's go with the next one. Zoo, do you want to go, please?
Yes. Hello, professor. Hello, classes. My name is Steve. I'm a physical therapy technician in Subbase, New London, in Connecticut. I chose to download the RStudio.
Okay.
But I'm seems to having problem open it. So I probably if it doesn't get
Okay, thank you. Oh, no worries. We're gonna learn how. I'm gonna explain how to use this software. So this is completely fine. Galaxy, I muted you. So if you're ready, go ahead and just unmute yourself and talk. Otherwise, I'm gonna go with the next Daniel. Second Daniel. Daniel Flip. Hi, Daniel.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you, well, yes.
All right. So, my name is Daniel. We live in Japan. Okay. So I just woke up. It's 6 in the morning here.
Oh, thank you for being with us early in the morning.
Yeah, my kids are sleeping, my wife's sleeping, everybody's sleeping. So,
okay, thank you.
Yeah, we're just waking up here.
How is everything in Japan?
Well, here in the island, it's calm. I mean, it's not too crazy. It's not as crazy as it sounds in the States, but everybody's taking care of each other. It's everybody's keeping to their own.
Okay, great. Which software do you choose to use?
RStudio.
Okay, great, Daniel. Okay, thank you. I have another student from Japan last semester. She was great. She was wonderful. All of my students are wonderful. I'm lucky to have all of you. Okay, I have Williams. I cannot hear you, but I can see your screen.
You're almost done. Click the blue Add to Chrome button to continue.
Okay, who is on the phone?
Georgiana. Oh.
Hi, Georgiana.
Hi, I'm having difficulties with using the RStudio. I watch all the videos, but I cannot still get through it.
Okay, no worries. We can talk about this. Hopefully, after this live session, you will be in the better situation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I see Mercedes here.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Like you said, my name is Mercedes, and I chose to use the RStudio for this semester. I've only taken one other statistics related class, and it was difficult, but we got through.
Okay.
I currently work remotely as a medical biller for a pediatric clinic in Georgia. So it's been interesting seeing how the virus is affecting people even down in a little town in Georgia.
Okay, yeah, I hear that. It's everything, every place is on the fire now. So, but thank you very much for your service.
Thank you.
I have Jess here. Jess, do you want to go? Can you hear us? Okay, Jess is not here, and Galaxy, no. Okay, so Galaxy, can you hear us? Okay, let me go and start class. Okay, class, for today, as I see, only one Dano using Excel. Most of them are using R. So I'm gonna go with R first and then gonna back to the Excel and explain Excel as well. As I said, I'm recording this session, so you don't need to take a note. So please focus here, and then I will upload this video tonight, so you will have access to that not later than 11 p.m. Eastern time. First thing first, let me share my screen and show you the RStudio. Where is my screen? Here, this is my screen. You should see my RStudio, right? Can you see my RStudio screen?
Yes.
Okay. This is RStudio class, but before you start using RStudio, you should go ahead in the class and let me go to the class and show you. You should go to the class and download a few files. The first file is a data file. The data file is an Excel file. If you go to the class discussion and go scroll down to see the class instruction, I put everything here. So for the exercise, this is questions, all questions for week 1 till week 5. So you don't need to copy from the class and paste. So you can download this, and this is a Word document, and for each week you just need to work on one of these exercises. I have downloaded this. This is the questions here. There's 5 questions here. Exercise 1, comparing hospital characteristics between 11 and 12, and compute p-value. Exercise 2, between teaching and non-teaching. Exercise 3, 3 markets. Exercise 4, regression model, and exercise 5 is a logic model. So this is the questions, and there is also the instruction here how to install RStudio, and then step-by-step guideline for exercises. So please download this file. This is 60 pages guideline, and it's very detail-oriented guideline. Please review that. And then with the exercise, there's a data file here. This is HMGT400. This is the code for the deploy package, and this is the code for no deploy package. I forget to ask your operating system. My operating system is Windows, so if you have a Mac, most of the steps, I can say 99% of the steps are the same step, just maybe 1 or 2 steps will be different. So if you have a Mac, I would be happy to share after my talk to review the Mac so we can see, we can share this video for students who are using Mac. This is the data, this is the codes. I will talk about the deploy and no deploy package, and this is the video for the previous semester, so you can use them. First thing first, you should create a UMUC folder in drive C of your computer. So if you are using Mac, in My Documents, you should create a folder and label it UMUC, capital everything. I know the name of university changed to UMGC, but because the code is based on the UMUC, all of my video is based on the UMUC. I will not change it, otherwise a student going to be confused with that. And to download the data, if you click on this, it's going to be downloaded, and you can see Excel file here. But don't do that. Let me show you what's going to happen here. So you can see this data here. This is data set, right? It's not a data set. I already opened. This is data set. And this data is in the format of CSV or text file. Whenever you open the data and save it, the format of the data will change, and then the RSU will not be able to read that with the current file. So right click on this, save target as, right? And then save the file to CUMUC, CUMUC here, this folder, C/UMUC. I already have this, I will not change this. And if you look at the format of this file, this is a comma separated values file. This is a text document. So Excel just save only the text and the data, not any kind of the format. That's the reason if you work with the CSV file, I had a question from one of the students that she has started working on the Excel, save it and back, and all the function has been disappeared. That's the reason a CSV file cannot save any function. And then you can do the same thing, save as to CUMUC, right? CUMUC, go to the CUMUC, save here. I already saved it, I will not save it. Do this for the same file, no deploy package. So to make sure you have every file, and you can download all of this exercise one time. So basically you don't need to download the data, you can just download it one time, but download all the codes. And you have a folder with UMUC folder, including the data sets and data file. So whenever you have a data file, let's start. Let me close everything here. And I assume that you have the data sets, you have the codes, and you want to start working with RStudio. You should click on the file, click on open file. I have all of my file here, so I assume you copy this in the CUMUC. So if you go to CUMUC, you can see here. I open HMGT400 codes. This is a code for exercise 1. Open it. And this is the code. If you can see in this shape, like blue, black, and green, that means you are reading the codes correctly. If you are not able to see the color of this code, it does mean something is wrong. You need to fix that before running the codes. These codes, before starting the codes, let me explain a few points in the RStudio. RStudio has 4 different panels. This is the first panel. I call it code panel. Every code here is in this panel. This is the data panel. If you read the data will present here. You can see the name of data set here. The data you are reading here will show here. This is the plot panel. In the plot panel, there's a few options, but you should stay always on the plot here, on the plot. Otherwise, you are not able to see any plots. Then this is the console panel. All of the value, all of the output of the RStudio will present here. You can all the time, you can give more space to any of this panel. Usually whenever you want to use that, look at the plot, you need more space. So you can click here, see, drag on the right or drag on the left. You really need this to learn this. Click here in the divider between the vertical divider. Whenever your mouse is in the direction like this for movement, move it to the right and to the left. You can do the same thing here. Okay, this is for our studio. Now I have a codes here. And the question is, how can I use these codes to answer the questions, right? This is the question for week 1. The week 1 asks you to, the attached data set provides some information about hospital in 2011 and 12. Download the data and then complete the descriptive table. Please use the following format to report your findings. So this is 10 question basically here. You need to populate number of observation, mean, standard deviation for 2011, the same for 2012. You also need to compute the p-values and to see is there any significant differences, and then you need to discuss your findings. This is exercise 1. So let's go back to the codes. You can see my screen, correct?
Yes.
Okay. The first function in this exercise for week 1, we're gonna work with, I believe, 5 functions. The first function is a sync function. The sync function is work like a log file. I don't know how any of you is familiar with a log file. Log file is the usually it's a storage for any package. And shows every function that has been performed on the package on that log file. Usually, if you're a data person, you can see most of the program produce a log file. So the sync command produce a log file. It does mean save everything in the console here. The sync function. The second function is a mean function. The mean function is this one, right? For this exercise, you should know the mean function. You should know about the standard deviation function, 3 function. You should know about the count function, 4 function. And you should know about the p-value function, 5 function. So for this week, we're gonna learn 5 function in the RStudio.
Professor, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
So what does the N stand for?
N is for number of observation, count.
Number of ratio count?
Number
Okay,
number of observation.
number of observation count, okay. Thank you.
Sure. And I'm using all of these terms statistically. For example, you're gonna say, how many patients do you have? It's for me, if you say number of patients is a number, but if you're gonna say observation during the week, you're gonna repeat one patient 5 times or 7 times. So the observation is always bigger than the count, correct? In a statistics, because if you have 10 patients in the hospital, at the end of the week, you're gonna have 7 multiplied 10. You have 70 observation, 10 observation each week. But when you report to 10 patients, you're actually reporting the mean. You're gonna report the number of patients for each week. You're gonna report all the observation during the week divided by 7. And it's happening during our conversation. We usually use a mean function during our conversation. So the observation is different with the N. I put the N here because for each numbers, there is one observation in the data set. Before using RStudio, and all of you installed RStudio before I'm going, right? Anyone? No? I can see some of you say no, but okay. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. How many of you did not install it? Let me just, for a moment, I just stop sharing to see your faces. How many of you have not installed RStudio yet?
I haven't yet.
Yeah, one. Who's else? I will go
I
back.
haven't yet.
2. Anyone else? So I assume most of you installed the RStudio, correct? Okay. Okay, I will back to the how to install the RStudio later. If you install the RStudio and you open the RStudio, you can see this one, right? So I say open this and read the codes, and then you, okay, let me share my screen. Okay, this is here, and it's very easy package to install. Jessica, it's very easy. I'm less than 5 minutes. You can install this. If this is the first time you are using the RStudio, you should install the Dplyr package, DPLYR, Dplyr package. The Dplyr package is a package with a mean function, a standard deviation function, and a count function. Otherwise, you have to write each function separately. So by default, I muted this code. When I say muted the code, in the pound sign, mute the line. If you remove the pound sign, the line will be active. So any line in this code with this sign, pound sign, or if you're using if you tweet a lot, I don't have an account, but if you tweet a lot, so it's a function, it's a hashtag function actually. You should unmute this and only highlight this and click on run. It takes a few minutes for the first time. I'm not doing that because I don't like to wait a few minutes. But because I'm already using this, I already installed the package. So for installing the package, you just need to highlight the package and run it. That's installing the package. When you install the package, you should load the package. Actually, the library, open bracket, Dplyr, close the bracket. So it's load the package. Every package should be loaded. When you load the package, it's in the memory of the program, and then program can hire that package to use for the functions. And I'm sorry, class, if this is so technical for the programming at the moment, it's gonna be, give me 2 more minutes, so it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna go to the number for the statistics. Okay, you install the package, you load the package. So you need to also do 2 more changes. If you are using Mac, Windows, and you created the UMUC folder and copy every file in that folder, you don't need to change anything in this codes. You can just open the codes and run it. But if you are using the MacBook, who is working with Mac? Anyone?
I do.
Zoo, you are okay. Zoo, Jessica, anyone else? I cannot see you, but who is else working with Mac? Please.
Hi, Anastasia.
Christina.
Okay, 4. Anyone else? 5.
Caitlin.
6. Okay, great. For sure, one of you, please, one of you be volunteer to after me to share your screen so I can explain in the Mac. If you are using a MacBook, instead of this line, CUMUC, you should write this one. And I call it tilde. Let me copy this here. You can compare this. This is for Mac user, right? Everything is the same. I call it tilde documents. And this is mistake, documents. It should be like this. The only difference is this one. Tilde document, everything is the same. UMUC, HMGT400 hospital. This is the one root for here and one for here. You also should change this one for the Mac user. It should be this one. And if you are the only user of the Mac, for example, you may use a MacBook for 2 or 3 people at home. So So if you are, for example, if that's the case, you should have a user here, something, for example, me, Zare, something like this. If you are the only user, so then you don't need that root. So this is the differences between Mac and Windows. Now I'm gonna mute line 8. I'm gonna run the code, walk through the numbers, and then you can run it later and compare your number to make sure everything's correct. So to do that, I'm gonna mute this one with adding a pound sign in this, and then I'm gonna highlight everything. So usually try to use the short key. So for short key for the highlight everything is Control A. So if you press Control A, you can highlight everything manually, or you can press Control A if you are a Mac user, Command A, right? So, and you can highlight everything. When you highlight everything, click on this, run, right? Or you can press Control Enter. Or it's better to click on them. There's no better or better, so just run it. So this is a run. If I run this, I can see all the numbers here. See, all the numbers is here. So I have this one, the name hospital. This is the code, right? I ask our studio to read this data and call it HOSP for hospital. And if you look at HOSP here, this is here, right? This is the data set. Usually you don't need, in the RSA, you really don't need to see the data set. This is the data, right? 3030 observation with 27 variables. I close it. And I deselect this one. Our studio introduced this data as HOSP for analysis. So I have this, let me give more space to this console. I have these are the name of variables here. Originally there is 27 variable, but I created 2 variables here. For that reason, the data set has 27 variables. And yeah, 27 variables here. And here, this is the number for the 2011, there is 5005 hospitals, and for 2012, there's 5025 hospital. So this is a total observation. And this is the summarize command. The summarize command give you the means for all of the variables in table 1. For example, the first line, this is the mean for 2011. And this is the means for 2012. Any place, if you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask your question. For example, here for number of hospital beds, there's 377. And I use the short key, short name here, short label here. I didn't ask, for example, I didn't go with the name like hospital beds, number of paid employees. They are very long.
Professor.
Yes.
I do have a question. Mine looks a little different than yours, but it does, I mean, it ran everything and everything's in blue, but I don't have the details you have.
The reason is because you didn't mute the sync comment. Do you want to mute that and run again?
Mute sync?
Yeah. Mute this one, line 8.
All right. Hold on.
Do it and run again so you can review number with me.
Gotcha. All right, it did.
Can you see?
Yes, just the warning message at the bottom. That's okay, right?
What is the message?
In sync, parentheses, no sync to remove.
Yeah, that's the last thing, because you didn't open the sync, but you close the sync, and then you have this message like me, right?
Right, yeah, okay.
Because we close the sync, but we don't open the sync. So that's the reason, because we muted the sync.
Got it.
You know, our studio can run with up to 50 errors. So if you you're running the plot and you receive 49 errors, so still you can see the results. But if it's more than 51, they are still gonna stop and ask you to fix this.
Gotcha.
This is the good things about that package. This is the bed, 3077, 20. Somebody write these two number only for 2011 and 12, 377. Let me write myself, 377 for 2011. This is the means. 2012, we have 377. Let me go with a second. Also, for the beds and for the payouts, we have 1237 and 1491. This is the means. This is the standard deviation, right? We have 567.61 for hospital bed 2011. We have 580. We have 60.60, and we have 90.62. These are the standard deviation. And class, I'm not explaining the mean standard deviation. I assume you know about that, right? If in some place you don't know, please ask me. I can explain that.
I have a question, Professor.
Sure.
How do we know which lines are the mean and which ones are the standard deviation? Does it automatically run it?
Yeah,
I guess
you can look at
order.
the codes.
Okay.
If you look at the codes here,
Okay.
the codes
Okay.
use the means.
Okay.
And the codes use a standard deviation. Also, there is a note in the code. Look at the note here. See the means, right? But this is the point here. All of them is means. All of them is a standard deviation. That was a good question. Thank you for asking. By the order, the first thing is the mean. The second is the standard deviation. If you want to make sure that's correct, you can do one of them manually. How do you compute the standard deviation? Anyone know about that? Do you know how to compute the standard deviation from means?
I know it's a formula, but I can't remember.
Okay.
It's like X and something else.
That's fine. You know, the standard deviation is mean divided by square root of n. That's the standard deviation. If you like to try one of them, try that and see what's the number. But you don't need to do that, but if you like to try one of them. Okay, the second one is a standard deviation. And okay, this is, let's go to the next function. And we have also, this is a mean, this is a standard deviation. For now, we could take care of these two columns, right? Mean for this one and for this one. We still have 3 columns to fill, and for 2011, 2012, and p-value. The next function is a p-value, and our student use Welch 2 sample t-test. There's a document in the class to explain the Welch 2 sample t-test. Please read that document. But short definition of the t-test is because you have 2 populations, right? All the population is more than 30 observation, and they are continuous variable. When I say the continuous variable, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. It's a continuous. Even if there's a categorical variable, something like system membership, 1 for system, 0 is for not system. Even because there's a 1 and 0, you could have a means. I know if you go and talk with epidemiologists, they're gonna say no, but econometrician, they like to go everything with mean standard deviation. I usually personally use everything. I use the mean even for the gender. If you say the gender is 52, how to define the 0.52? Because the gender is 1 and 0, right? 1 for female, 0 for male. And the 50.52, it does mean 52% of population are female, 48% are male, right? So even you can use the means for some categorical variable. Even I know some of the classes professors say, okay, you cannot use a t-test for the categorical variable. But if you have a categorical variable with 1 and 0, you still can use a t-test. But if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, for example, level of education, right? 1 for less than high school, 2 for high school, and 3 for high school and over. So you have 3 categorical variable. You have to use the chi-square test for categorical variable. But here in this class, all of the test is a t-test because usually we have 2 population. Whenever we have a TD population, we are using an ANOVA test. I didn't even use the, I didn't introduce the chi-square in this class because most of the variable we are using are continuous variable. So a wedge 2 sample t-test, usually 80% of the paper use this t-test. Okay, we have 2 population. All the population is more than 30 observation. There is a less than 30 observation, you have to use a different test. Anyone knows which test you have to use for non-parametric? This is very soon to ask this question. We explained that in the class, but anyone know about that? Okay. Usually you can use the Mann-Whitley test, and the Mann-Whitley test is a non-parametric t-test, actually, to just go with the 2, because whenever you have more than 30 observation, we assume that you have a normal distribution, and if you don't have a normal distribution, usually you cannot use the t-test. So anyhow, we assume every number in this class is a normal distributed, and so we are using the t-test. Wedge 2 sample t-test gives you 4 different numbers here, more than 4, but I'm gonna stay with 4 here, the first line. T value, degree of freedom, and p value, and there's 3 numbers here. It also gives you the means. Yeah, the X stays for this. Hospital beds in 2011, Y is stay for hospital in 2012. And if you look at this 376.6, 376.8, they are very close to each other. We assume that there's no significant differences. And if you look at the p-value here, the p-value is 0.9926. Anyone want to explain how we can interpret that? Okay, any numbers more than 0.05 or 5%, 5% is 0.05, because if you go with 0 and 1, and 1 is 100, 0 is 0, 0.05 is a 5%. Any numbers more than 0.05 mean there is no significant differences. So based on this t-test, there is no significant differences between beds in 2011 and 2012. And even if you look at these numbers, we have 377, and the numbers are the same, but more interestingly is the standard deviation. This is huge, right? Usually when you have 2 times more, almost 2 times, right? Whenever you have less than 2 times the standard deviation, there potentially could be significant difference if there is a less than two times. For example, for 377, if I had 180 as a standard deviation, I could assume that there is a significant difference, but here is more than 2, about 2 times, so there is no significant differences here. This is the reason I explained about the standard deviation is if you, for example, if it was 0.01, you should check again, because it's not possible to have a bigger standard deviation. Whenever a standard deviation is more than means, you could not have a p-value to show significant differences. So this is the place to just, if you by mistake put something in your tables and check them and say, oh, wow, this is a standard deviation bigger than mean and the p-value is significant, you should check your number, make sure to fix that. Okay, based on these numbers, there is no significant differences between beds in 2011 and 2012. Let me look at the second one. I'm looking at hospital employees on payer. So there's 0.001, right? And this is significant difference because this number is less than 0.05. And if you look at this, means I have 1237 here, and I have 4091. So here, and look at this standard deviation, 16.60. So it's still less than 2 times, right? If it was 2 times, about 2400. Okay. This is another example, and you can see all of these for the other values here. Most of them are not significant here. The same. This is significant, 0.004. It is for hospital Medicaid discharge. Medicaid is not significant. And okay, this is the last function. If you go back to the tables, go back to the table here. We have mean, standard deviation, p-value, right? Anyone, let me write about this. We can use that. Let me write one of these numbers. I have 0.9926 and I had 0.001. Okay. The next function is a count function, right? So I ask our studio to look at the hospital beds in 2011 and report to me the number of observations. And this is the count function, 1505. This is the number of hospital beds in 2011. And all of them is for 2011. And this is for hospital employee, this is 1498. And if you scroll down, all of them is 2011, right? 11, let's go to find 2012. This is 2012. This is here, I have 5025. For the second one is also 5050. So you have all these numbers, right? So now you want to populate the tables. It was here, right? For 2011, it was 1515. And the mean for bed was 771. Yes.
I'm just watching the board from here, just so I can.
Okay. A standard deviation was 5061. It was 5025, a standard deviation. Mean for 77, the standard deviation was 580, and the p-value was 0.9926. This is the way, class, you should populate this table. Also, I never asked you to report this one, the plot, but there is a box plot here. Let me go through the box plot and explain you how to use this. Let me give more space to this. Okay. You know, there's a key here, back, and forward. When you click on the back part, forward, right? This is, if you click on the backward, you can see the figure 1. The box plot use the shows the means. This blue line, this bold line here is a means for 2011. And if you look at this is for hospital beds, right? They are very close to each other. These are the standard, this is the standard deviation, this is the upper max, and this is the lower bound. The upper bound is a +2 standard deviation, the lower one is a -1. So based on this distribution of this data here, this is probably a few outliers here, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 hospitals here. They have more than 2,000 beds, but if you go back to this, here in this plot, I excluded them to see better shape. See here, almost the same mean for 2011, 2012, and even if you look at this p-value, this is significant. This isn't significant, right? It was this one, right? This is a 376 here, 376, 376. About, we cannot see this, but we can imagine this is in this place. And okay, this is the label is in the compare number based teaching. The label is incorrect. This is between 2011 and 2012. You should fix that if you like. It should be here in 2011 and 12. '11 and 12. If I run this code again, you can see this label correct. This is the way you can see all the numbers in this console, but you have an option to see everything in the sync command, right? I'm gonna unmute the sync. I'm gonna run everything again. And everything should be here in this file. If I go to drive C of my computer, I can see this file. I open it actually from here, but if you go to drive C, your computer, on drive C, UMUC, this is here. Today, right? It was 5:51 a few moments ago. And this is the file. This file save everything. Actually save all the numbers. There is no note in this file. If you run everything one time, you could have all the information you need in the text file. I have 2011, 2012. This is the means. This is the standard deviation. This is the Welch t-test, and there is a note here. You can see which of them is that. This is the label of the variables. And this is maybe the challenge should be here. The challenge should be here that there is no label to show which numbers is for which variables. But the way I wrote this code is based on the order of the table. But I suggest you for this function, it's good to go and populate the table based on the order here, but maybe the better option is just run this manually here. After you run everything, go back and run this manually. You can, and then you have a label here. You can see which of them is for which. This is hospital bed, this is a payer, this is a not payer, this is hospital cost. And this is actually the exercise one. So when we have exercise one, I assume you completed this table. And the question is, based on your finding, which years hospital had a better performance? Okay, the value for the performance should be hospital revenue and cost, right? Look at these two variables. Look at these two variables and see which year hospital has higher revenue. Decrease the mean from revenue from the cost. So for example, there's a 150 here. I'm just making some numbers. It's millions numbers. And this is 145. And this is 165 and 250. If you subtract them, you're gonna get 5 plus, and you're gonna get about 85, correct? 65. 250 minus 165, 85, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So based on these two numbers, hospital has better performance in 2012, but you also need to look at the p-value.
One second, Professor.
Sure.
Where do you get these numbers from?
I'm just making some assumption.
Oh, okay.
But if you like to see all of these numbers is here, you can see this, right? This is here. Revenue is here, right?
Right.
and the cost is here. 200 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 228 million, and this is 216 million. So there's a little 10 million positive, right? If you distract this one from this one, and this is 229 million, and this is 214. So both of them is positive. So the benefit is positive if you subtract the cost from the revenue. So based on this, more likely 229 minus 240 is about 40, about 15. 228 minus 216 is about 12. So hospital in 2012 has better performance. But if you look at this revenue and cost, there is no significant differences. Based on this observation, you can say it looks like that the hospital in 2012 has a better performance, but it's not the significant differences. So if you multiply this number 10 times, more likely you cannot see any differences between 2011 and 2012. This is the answer for this question. Okay, I stop here, class. Let me know if you have any questions so far. Otherwise, I'm going to ask one of you with a Mac to just share your screen, and we can walk through the MacBook to see how it changes in Windows. What's the differences between Windows and Mac?
I can share mine. I figured I was having issues getting it. The file kept going to R, but I figured out from watching how to get it to come up in R Studio.
Okay, you want to share your screen if you don't mind?
Do I literally just click share?
Yes, please.
Is it that simple? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
Still waiting.
I think I just have to give it permission.
Here you go. Okay, if you open the studio, you can see that.
I already opened it.
You already have this one. Okay, perfect.
And so I was able to get to it by, you had us open the file here, right?
Yeah, everything is fine. You just need to, do you have the CUMUC folder in your computer?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so then you should change the sync, the line 8, right? Tilde document /UMUC instead of the C. Line 8, please go to the line 8 in front of the sync.
Got it. This
Yeah,
part?
remove the C only, not all of them, just the C, just the C. And
the letters?
Yeah.
The letter? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the dot after that, quotation mark, yeah, remove that. Okay, C tilde. You can copy the tilde from line 15, right? There's a tilde there, line 15.
Found it.
Yeah, okay, great. Slash.
Okay, slash.
Document, I think, yeah, documents. Okay, and do the same thing, please, with line 14. Tilde / documents. And please run only line 14 to make sure everything is correct, and then we can go for the next part.
Okay, so just highlight and then
run?
Yes,
and run it. Okay, does mean, okay, do you have the HMGT400 in Drive C, UMUC?
I have it.
Do you want to show the UMUC?
It's right here.
Yeah, please open
my documents.
And okay, can you right click on this? Right click and get info. And get info, okay. And this is, Okay, I'm trying to read this. Have you saved as in this? I'm trying to see what's the format of this file. I can't see the format on this.
I can try and download it again.
Yeah, okay, it's a spreadsheet. I think this is probably maybe probably you download and save it. Do you want to remove that? Please drop the file, delete the file, and then go to the class and then click Save As. Save link as, perfect. Change the where location to CUMUC, right? You have, yes. Yeah, that's here, save. Please go back to our studio now and then try to run the same line. Let's see. Here you go. It's reading now.
Okay.
So now you should also install the Dipler package because this is the first time. Please unmute line 10. Only highlight line 10. Okay. In the MacBook, you should confirm. Yes, please click on run.
Okay.
And in the console, gonna ask you yes or no. You should approve that. If not, it's good to go. Okay, it's never asking your computer, which is good. But for some Mac users, it's asked, and you should confirm that. I think it's still running.
I think so.
Yeah, because as long as you see this, okay, here you go. I think it's finished. You can just mute the line 10, please.
Okay.
Shift 3. Okay. Now you can select everything and run.
Up here.
Yeah, you can press Command
All
A.
this too?
Yeah, all of them, entire codes. Let's see how it's working your computer. Run, please. Okay, I think it's working. Perfect. And if you go to the CUMUC folder, and you can see that document there. This is here. Can you see week 1 exercise? It was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, double click on this and you will see all the information here. So you have everything here, and then you can maximize this. And please go back to our studio and you can see the plot also. Click on the plot on the menu that's here. And you can see that, and if you give more space, you can see the plot completely.
Okay.
That's it. This is very simple even in the Mac. But for some Mac users, you should confirm the package. And make sure to save your codes. Click on the save or press comments, yes. You can click on the file and save it, or just click on the icon for the...
This one?
Yes, that's it. Click on the save. That's it. It was class. It was a first exercise. I'm here if you have any question. Otherwise, I'm gonna go and explain Excel. We had probably some of the students that are not here. They like to use Excel. I'm gonna explain Excel and back to explain how to use to install the package. Any questions so far?
Yes, please.
Sure.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Georgia.
So after running the R Studio, after selecting the old page and saving to the UMUC, is that where we read the data from to put in the exercise, or we have to go back to the R Studio page?
You know, for the R Studio, you don't need to see the data, but you need to make sure the data set is in the drive CUMUC.
Okay.
As long as you have the data there and you have the code there, you know, R Studio hire the codes and the data set and give you the numbers. So
okay.
If you close the R Studio, still code is there, but for seeing the numbers, you should run the codes again. For that reason, whenever you're running the code and it's work properly, so make sure to save the codes. Otherwise, for the next time, you should spend some time to figure out the problem.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, doctor.
Sure. Daniel, Jessica, do you have a current question?
Yeah, I'm just having issues with actually downloading our studio, and then I did see
Please
about how.
talk louder, please.
What did you say?
Talk louder. It's hard to
Louder.
hear.
Yeah, I was just having issues with downloading our studio, like
Mhm.
John telling me, like when I click on it, like I have the file, it says unable to locate our binary by scanning standard location.
Mhm.
So like, and then also when I go to the actual class and I like download the information, it's mainly like it doesn't look like y'all format at all. It looks like I can probably share my screen.
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
I'll try. I'm not tech savvy. 1 second.
Are you working with Mac or with Windows?
I'm on a Mac computer. Okay, that's
The share screen is in the bottom of your computer.
1 second. I'm gonna look for this.
Run this out.
Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, can you open the RStudio? This is the codes. You download the code. This I'm glad you shared this one because this is the point I need to explain here. But do you have RStudio?
So that's our studio. I had downloaded it. Our studio.
No, this is the RStudio codes. Do you want to open the package, the RStudio program?
Oh, hold on 1 second. I had it here and I downloaded it. Like, so do I need to do it like this? So I downloaded it. Our studio.
No. When you download, this is the codes. Before that, you should install the RStudio. You should install the R programming first and then install the RStudio and then go back and download the codes.
Okay, so
I think you didn't install the package. I mean the package. I mean this the RStudio by itself.
I had it up here, and that's when it was.
Can you show me the package, the RStudio? Because this is the code.
Can you still see my? Okay, I need to move this. I have it right here. Can you still see my?
I can see only the codes. I cannot see any. Or if you need to share again, you want to share? Yeah, please share a screen. You are sharing the browser, so if every time you share the browser, you should the Zoom only show that browser only.
Hold on. I see what I'm sharing. Hold on 1 second. I have to come back to me because that's not what I'm trying to share. Okay.
Anyone else has also a problem with installing the package?
I'm not sure if I have two R's at the bottom of mine. I don't, let me see if I can scrap it.
Are you a Mac user or Windows user, Daniel?
I'm Windows,
Okay.
but it just has like a little, I don't think it's right.
After Jessica, you share your screen to see what's the problem.
I'm having issues with mine.
I actually had the same issues, but you have to do it separately. So you downloaded the video. You have to download the package separately, and then
It's over here. Like I can't remember her name.
go to all project and download a package.
Like when Caitlin had displayed her monitor, it has said our studios, and then it has like a drive, like little icon. I have that. When I click on it, that's when it says unable to do whatever binary. So
you know, I want to see the problem. That's the reason I asked you to share the screen.
Yeah, I'm having issues sharing my screen.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Share with the codes, and then when I click off of that, I'm having issues with showing you what I'm talking about. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, because it keeps on popping.
Do you want to until you figure it out? You want to ask me to? I want to ask Daniel. Okay, here you go. Click on the RStudio now, and let me see all the issues. So I cannot see anything else. Can you see your side?
Yeah, I can see on my side. You can't see it anymore?
No, no.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
But if, okay, is it running?
It says unable to locate R binary by scanning
I
standard.
see. Have you installed the R package first?
I can try it again. I can try to.
You know, to running the RST, you should install the R package first, the R programming, and then install the R Studio.
Okay.
If not, we have still 20 minutes. Do you want to go and just install the R programming? So then share again your screen later. So, I mean, after I answer other questions. Daniel, do you want to share your screen? Let me know what the problem is.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if they can see. Can you see anything or no?
Not yet.
Okay, here we go. So this
is R. This is R.
So I didn't do something right, I'm assuming?
No, you needed to deinstall that, but it should open the other package.
So
did you see the icon Christina shared a few moments ago? That's R Studio. This is the R.
So this is just R? This isn't R Studio?
This isn't R Studio, no. R Studio sits on the R, but you need the R, but you don't need to open the R.
So
do you have R Studio on the computer? Do you want to close this and go back to your computer and show me the start button? You can search there R Studio and let's open it. Minimize this one.
Minimize what?
Minimize this one, this R. I see you click on the minimizing, but you want to minimize this or close this R.
Close the R?
Close the R. No.
No? Okay.
Okay, you close the shared event. So I like you to go to the search in Windows and search R Studio.
Okay.
Here you go. Click on this. This is R Studio. You should open the package from here. Do you have the UMUC folder in your computer?
No, I haven't.
Okay, please create a folder, copy everything there, and then click on the file and open this. Please watch the video again. I explained. So
yeah,
you
okay.
have everything here. So as long as you have this one, you are ready to go.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Any other question regarding R Studio? Otherwise, I'm gonna move to Excel.
I have one more question, Doctor.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead, please, Stacy, go.
So I am trying to install the package, and it's coming up with an error in the install package.
Can you share your screen?
Yes.
Sure, go ahead. Anyone here is using Excel class in this live session? No, okay, I'm gonna explain Excel later, so we can spend all the time for R. Go ahead, Stacy.
I have one quick question while she's
Okay, sure, go ahead.
What's the difference between the no Dippler and the Dippler? And which one should I be using for Windows?
Yeah, if you can install the Dippler package, you should go with a Dippler, because some of the students who have a very high secure computer, the computer doesn't let them to install the Dippler package. For that reason, I wrote the code in the way you don't need to install the package and run the codes.
Got it.
By default, the first option is go with the Dippler package.
Okay.
But please watch no Dippler package to see how you should go with a very longer code to do the no Dippler package.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Stacy, what's the question?
So down here, when I did the install the Dippler package, this popped up, the red.
I see. Okay, I see. Yeah, this is one of the example. Do you want to go ahead and then again install install the package, you want to run line 10, Stacy, please. And let's see what the problem is. This is one of the places for the problem. Yeah, this is, the computer doesn't install the package. Okay, Stacy, there is two options. The first option is to go and download the Dipler package. I will send you the link later.
Okay.
And unzip in the library of your computer. I mean, if you go to the program, find R, and there for the R, there's a library, and then you should unzip the Dipler package, and then our studio can read that.
Okay.
A second option is go with the no Dipler package code.
Okay.
But I will send you the other documents and the Dipler package. It's much easier to go with the Dipler package. If not, so then we should go with the second option.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Any other? Someone else ask any question?
Yes, I was asking a question. After selecting and running, if I have to save it, do I save it under week 1 exercise under the UMUC, or I just save it under the HGMT400?
You mean submitting the exercise, you mean? I didn't get your question. Please repeat.
I don't know if that is submitting the exercise.
Yeah,
do you want
please
me
go
to
to the
share?
assignment and there's exercise 1. Please stop.
Okay, do you want me to share my screen to show you what?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay. What is the? Okay. I highlighted this and I clicked run.
I cannot see your screen yet.
You can see it?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Anyone else can see? No. Oh, no.
I'm clicking on share. And
please share, and then after that you should click some browser to share that one.
How do I click again? I don't know.
Do you have one monitor or 2 monitors?
Just one.
Okay, then click on the share, and then it pop-ups a few screen, and then you need to click one of them.
Okay. Which one should I click on?
On the page you want to show us.
Okay, I did, but it's not coming up.
Oh, here you go. We can see. Here you go. We are not a studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I clicked that and I clicked on run.
Okay.
And after running, I would like to save it.
Yeah, it's already saved. Please minimize this. Go to the CUMUC. Minimize this one and go to the CUMUC.
Okay. Okay, I'm already there.
Okay, you see that? There is a file, week 1 exercise. Can you see that?
Okay.
Double click on that file and open it, because I cannot see from here, but if you open that file,
okay,
it's already saved. You don't need to save that. Everything is there.
So is this what I'm submitting, or the data I put in the boxes?
I see the point. Yeah, you should populate the table and submit this. Please don't submit. It's okay to submit the text file. The text file shows that you run the code correctly, but you should populate the table in the Word document and then submit that.
Okay, so it's the Word document that I have to submit.
This is the document. Let me share my screen.
Oh, let me see.
Have you finished your question? I can share my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the document I need to submit. This is it. You can download this from the class.
Mm-hmm.
And for exercise 1, you just need to populate this. This is okay, class, to submit entire data, exercise, but populate only week 1, 2, 3. You don't need to just separate it for each week.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Daniel.
For the bonus, how do we prove that we use RStudio?
I do magic and understand. It's very easy to understand because there's a few differences between R and Excel.
Okay.
So based on the numbers, there is a slightly different between the p-value in RStudio and the p-value in Excel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
also, there is a sum for some questions. There is a plot, and the plot is different between RStudio and Excel. And I can imagine, so that's you use RStudio or Excel. But I look at the number, I understand who uses each package. This is the way I understand it.
Professor, where do you download the Excel file that you currently have?
Can you ask again? It was so slow, please.
Okay, where do you download the Excel files the tables?
Okay, the Excel files is here. Let me share my screen. The Excel file for the data. Do you mean the data, or do you mean the?
For the descriptive statistics.
Okay, this is here, from here. Do you see that? Go to the class discussion. Yes. Scroll down to see the class instruction. And there is exercise 1 till line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. You click on this, you can see this file here. This is the
I have the table itself. So do I copy and paste on Excel?
No, if you have the table by yourself, you can use that, but it's much easier to, instead of just having different table each week, you just go ahead and download my file. For the first week, if you already have it, just submit that file. For the other weeks, you can use this file. Or you can just use the Excel file you already have. Did I answer your questions, though?
No, I still couldn't find it. So I have to download the table, right?
You should download the table from here.
You say in the content?
Or you can go to the content and download from there. Yes, there's 2 places. If you go to the class instruction, for all weeks, there's only 1 file. I'm trying to reach to the content. Or you can go to the content and copy from there. If you go to the week 1.
Okay.
Okay, come on, so slow. The only time my computer is so slow when I'm in the Zoom. Otherwise, it works perfectly. Probably it's because working with different. Okay, it's trying to show me something. I'm still waiting for that. Here you go, table of content, week 1. You can copy from here also. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to share. I should share my screen to show you. This is the place.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do this. I share this, but it's still working. Come on, here you go. It doesn't show, okay, anything to me. Let me back, open again. This is, okay, what's happened? So the easiest way, just go to the discussion. Ignore the first week. This is fine. You submit it from the content. I'm going to show you the content after this. It's much easier to go to class instruction and download the file from here, exercise 1 to 5. Okay? It is much easier. If you decided to go to the content, you can copy from content as well. But the content is for each week. It's not all of them together. And this browser is so slow. I'm trying to reach to that point to show you the place for that.
Okay. Professor, I got it now.
Do you get this? Okay, here you go. This is week 1. And this is here, the exercise here. I don't know why this is so slow here. This is the exercise. You can get from here. So copy this one. But in the Word document, everything is there. But this is the data file. There is no differences between this one and the data I put it on the class instruction. But Zu, as I understand, you asked about this table, correct?
Yes, I just got downloaded now.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Professor, I have another question, but it's not regarding the R studio. It's regarding the data sets for the rest of the assignments.
Mm-hmm.
Like for the group project, where do we get those data sets from? Like from all the topics.
You know, for the group project, I believe I put everything in the class instruction. If you go to the week 6, there is I think it put it here, right? This is here. If you go to the class instruction and go to the very end, there is a CVS file for individual assignment 1 and 2, Medicare national data by county, imaging data set, Minnesota admission, right?
In what week?
Can you see that?
No, where?
Class discussion.
All right.
Scroll down to see the class instruction.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, okay, I see.
You know, the data set for individual assignment 1 and 2 is very similar to, it's not similar, it's the same data set for the team project. Only the topic will change. So you have 3 main data sets. There's one other data set in the class, the MAPS data sets. I didn't put it here, but because it's dependent on the topic, we have a different data sets. If your team decided to use the MAPS data set, then you should go to the week 6 and download the data from there. Okay. I will have a live session to explain the team project. No worries. It's very early to talk about that. Any other question? Jessica, what happened to you? Have you fixed the problem? Okay, let's talk later. So you are muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Still working on it.
You are working on this? Okay, okay. After the live session, please send me an email. Let's see what the problem, and if needed, I can schedule a meeting with you to fix the issue. Class, for the next week, we have 3 minutes more, okay? I'm gonna stay with you 6:30 so you can go to work on your other project, your time. Usually I have, every 2 weeks, I have a live session to talk about some aspects of the class. For example, the exercise 1 and 2 is very similar. We don't need any other live session for exercise 2. Exercise 2 is a little bit different. I will work on this on week 3. And also I will talk about individual assignment 1 and 2 on the live session. In end of week 3, I'm thinking if you want to talk about individual assignment 1, then I should move the second live session to the next week. So then you can use that for any question you have for the individual assignment 1. So the next live session will be on next week. I will send a notice in the class. And if you have any question regarding this individual assignment 1 and 2, I will address that. And then after that, I'm gonna have a live session to talk about the ANOVA test. And then after that, we're gonna have one last live session for the team project. And at the end of the class in the week 7, I will have a live session to discuss, to review the final exam questions. So, and all the time I'm gonna put all the video on the YouTube. You can watch it again. This is the way we are working on this class. And then if anytime you haven't spent so much time to have lots of difficulties to figure something, so send me an email. I will schedule a live session with you by person, and then we can review the issue. Okay.
Okay.
Any other question, class?
I
I have a question regarding the topics 1 and 2.
Okay.
It's a lot of information. I'm not sure if I just have to select like the first part of it. Maybe if I have to talk about B and W on, say, for instance, Medicare. And at the bottom, it talks about 2 different states. So I'm not sure what it's really expecting me to do.
You know, I provided you several topics. For example, one topic should be comparing the mammogram between black and white. The other topic should be comparing mammogram between Maryland and Virginia. So I say 2 states. I ask you to just define 2 states. And if you are interested, for example, if you like to work in the Maryland and Virginia, should be different topic. But for example, for the exercise assignment 1, you can go with comparing mammogram between black and white. And for the second assignment, you can work with the comparing mammogram between Virginia and Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was
this is
thinking
the
it was just, everything was just lumped up into one.
Those are some kind of examples. So, but even if you decided to work with a class data set, but choose another topic, this is also fine with me. But you should submit your topic, and I will approve that, and then you can work on it.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll read it again and understand it better.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, class, thank you very much for being here and take care of yourself. This is a risky situation. Your safety is the first. If you have any difficulties, please let me know, and then you take care of yourself, okay?
All right, Dr. Azari. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
Same to you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, all.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Hello, Professor.
Yes.
Probably we get in touch with each other to learn more.
Yes.
All right.
Professor, I have a question. This is Dana. I thought we were going over the Excel.
I will review the Donna, when I asked you, you were not. So I'm gonna put another, I'm gonna record a video for the Excel and put it in.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. I must have stepped away when you asked the question. I apologize.
No problem. That's okay. So I put another video for that, and you can watch that. And let me know if you have any question. I can schedule a live session with you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Okay, goodbye, class. I'm gonna close this live session. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
This is the end of live session, class. Goodbye.